It's about that time, baby, baby. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Here we go.
The Sinclair Show is on.
It is on.
Run it to your friends, come on.
Come on, come
So
on.
this a moment of the show tonight. Mailbag is tight. Sinclair is on the mic.
Once again, it's on. You're still troubled in your home. Got your tripping, don't know right from wrong. Send your letters to the show so we can talk you through. Get the answers to your questions because we speak that truth. Sometimes you doubt yourself, lost your health. Faith is on the fence, but you believe that Jesus knows your wealth. Keep it moving, spirit flowing, because we're here to provide someone to lean on when you're falling. Wednesday, 8 and 9, and it's on. Well. It is that time again. Y'all have joined on to the Sinclair Show. That's right, where we do everything the way we want to. That way we can keep it a stack with you all. That's right. I want to thank all of you all who continue to send your mailbag questions and comments to sinclairtalk@outlook.com. We're going to continue to address as many as possible to each night we on the air to reach you, the valued what people? Y'all the valued listeners. Y'all part of the Sinclair Show family. Been around for years. So that's right. Don't even look at yourself like you know visitors no more. You ain't just stopping in. You stay here. That's right. Y'all living up in on the show. All right. Before I move any further, I want to say thanks to all our sponsors, the Divine Leaf Cigar and Bourbons, Nero Brassia Shooting Clubs, Carver Cigars, What's Your Carver Moment, and the Interdenominational Spiritual Training Center, and Comateo. Hey, if y'all want to get them tats, call 919-410-8766 for your tattoo needs. Outstanding. Let me see who done jumped on the show so far. Look at, there go Nikki Carter, always causing problems. Good afternoon, Nikki. Glad to see you already. And there's our most famous Gwendolyn, Lady Elegance Pritchard, sending us greetings from Redstone Arsenal, Alabama. See, some of y'all don't understand about being down in Alabama. As a matter of fact, it's about to get real hot down in Alabama too. Let me see who out there. Look at my mama. Hey, mama. Y'all know what? I'm going to tell y'all a little secret about me and my mama. It was funny too. Look, Nikki Carter talking about I'm on my best behavior today. Girl, please. Me and the public, we ain't buying what you're selling. Okay? Anytime you tell us you on your best behavior, matter of fact, let me just go ahead and say as a matter of record for the evening, I am 100% certain that I'm going to start some conflict tonight. All right? I'm just telling y'all, I know for a fact there shall be some conflict tonight because the topics is too hot. Okay? But I've made it a purpose of mine that I shall not, just like I tell y'all, I rocks with Jesus, I shall not move away from the controversy that you all be presenting me. Because I think some of y'all be sending me stuff and y'all be saying to yourself, I know good as well he is not going to tackle this topic, but you would be wrong. Not running from y'all. Never that. I go and brush my shoulders off and everything will be all good. But again, I want to thank all of you all for coming on, sitting around, chit-chatting with me today. And we're going to talk about some crazy things. And I know some of y'all been asking about the little headers. When I send out these little headers, that means I'm giving y'all some heads up, if you will, on what the show is going to be about. Matter of fact, I did even better than that. I think early this week, I sent you all out where somebody had sent me this stuff about Shahrazad. I think that's how you pronounce her name, Ali. Controversial figure, but I wanted you all to be able to listen to some of her comments before I brought the topic up since it was sent to me. All right. I just want to let y'all know there's the one and only Star Coleman. Hey, Star, glad to see you. That's right. She said, hi, family. See, that's how y'all supposed to come in. Hi, family. See, when you act like family, you get treated like family. It's like when you act like strangers, what y'all get treated like when you act like strangers? Somebody gonna say it. I know y'all be acting brand new anyway, so I'm not even gonna trip. And to my people out there on YouTube who are watching live, look, we certainly appreciate you guys. Remember, you can catch us on YouTube. You can catch us on, and if you go out to YouTube, it's on Get Sinclair TV. Oh boy, we in the game now. It ain't even a party until Rod Jake pops in. That's when everything really started popping off. And I think for a second there, I thought I saw where it said old Xavier done popped in on us, but I ain't seeing him. I know he said he liked the show, so even though he might be hot, matter of fact, I think that's his little like sign right there. Let me see. Yeah, so Xavier's out there peeping in on us. But anyway, so I told y'all I was going to tell y'all something funny. So I did this the DNA 23andMe thing, right? And so I had told my mama, let me put her stuff up there. They go, mama's right there. So I told my mama, I said, mama, look here now. I need you to take the DNA test. And my mama was like, I ain't taking no DNA test. I said, mama, I need you to take it because, you know, sometime back in the day, y'all might have just been putting some stuff on some birth certificates. I know you, I love you because you my mama. But I need to verify, validate, all right? James Key said, what's up, peeps? Glad to see you. So again, let me put my mama picture back up it now. So mama said, I ain't studying no, you know, mama about 80 years young, right? Mama said, I ain't studying no DNA information. I don't need no DNA information to know that you my son, this, and that. But y'all know me. I said, mama, I got to have that data. I need the validation. Right now, I told my mama, I said, mama, right now, you gonna get credit for time served because I know you've been there my whole life. But I need to get the technical data because there's some shady stuff going on. And I need to make sure everything is everything, right? All right. And so Andre Williams, what's going on, my brother? So when I told my mama, I said, mama, I need the paperwork. We had already sent her little kid in, right, to the DNA 23andMe because I done made a determination. I don't know if I'm hanging out with folks if I can't prove who you are these days because there's been some imposters trying to get into the team. So I said, I need to see some paperwork. So anyhow, you know, mama just laughing. I said, mama, you laughing. If that paperwork don't come back right, we're going to have a problem. Mama said, I ain't even flinching on it. You can get up out of here with that mess. So she and I and old Ty, we joked around for a few hours. But I was serious. I needed my paperwork because you got to validate things to some of y'all. And guess what happened? The very next day, yesterday, the paperwork popped in. What y'all think about that? Paperwork popped in, and you know what it said? Y'all know what it said. It said she my mama. Why y'all acting crazy? See, some of y'all thought it was going to come back on some little negativity, huh? Matter of fact, not only did it pop up that she my mama, me and my mama got almost identical. Like our DNA profiles, right? So let me tell y'all something. Sometimes you know how y'all be talking about, you know how parents be talking about, I don't have a favorite. You got to have a favorite. You know how I know I'm my mama's favorite? Because me and my mama got that close that our DNA is almost identical. Now I know my siblings, they got some little tests in the works, right? But I know it ain't gonna be as close as me and my mama's. Yeah. So just want to let y'all know about that. And look here, y'all better get y'all some paperwork out there too. Because some of these people be talking about they your family might not be your family. And you need to be able to cut them out before they try to infiltrate. Anyway, I'm just messing with y'all. I don't want nothing. Look here. If y'all supposed to be my family, I'm still going to give y'all credit. You just ain't going to be able to come to the barbecues. Everybody come to any kind of barbecue. Matter of fact, what y'all think about this? Do y'all think we should make a new rule that says you cannot go to somebody's family reunion? Kiki Matthews, glad to see you. Do y'all think we should make a new rule that says you can't go to somebody's family reunion if you ain't got no paperwork? Y'all tell me what y'all think about that. I'm almost of the mindset that that's where we should be at. We should be at the spot that says if you don't have no paperwork, you can't go to family reunions. Y'all tell me how y'all feel about that. Because that's just me right now. I ain't trying to put that on everybody. All right. Let me see what else going on out here in this world. Let me see. All right. So before we get too far down the road, hold on. Star, you said you don't believe we ought to have that. Y'all know what? I believe that Star is not in favor of the you need to have a DNA test to come to the family reunions because she's scared she might not get invited to some. Rod, why am I asking for trouble, man? Listen, don't y'all think it's fair that if somebody popping up at a family reunion, they should have to prove they family? Why is y'all tripping? See, now look here. Y'all are my homies. I would have thought for sure some of y'all would have been at least considering what I'm saying. Okay. But it seems like y'all don't want no smoke. I got to take all the smoke by myself today. I really feel some kind of way. And Rod, I thought for sure you would have been on the team when I popped that out because that seems like the least that they can do. Uh-oh. Ty talking about I'm too much. Hold on, Ty. First of all, the only reason why you saying that, because you know ain't no way possible that your profile gonna come up as close to my mama's as me. So I am the chosen one in the family. I'm my mama's favorite. How do I know? Because our profiles is like that. You can accidentally get them confused. Let's see what Star Coleman talking about. Some of the ones I know are family. I don't want them there. Oh, so Star says she don't want the paperwork because she don't want people assuming that they can come. Star, well, that's not the only people. Now you can exclude people that you just don't want to be there. But I'm saying, matter of fact, let me rephrase it for the public. Are y'all in agreement that in order to go to a family reunion, at minimum, I ain't gonna say it's the only thing, but at minimum, you ought to have to prove that you family. And I ain't talking about all that he say, she say. Because see, I was talking to somebody, look at my outs, man, Jay Dizzle is popped on. That's right. Let me see. First of all, Rod say it's not smoke. You may be surprised who show up. Absolutely. Jay Dizzle said, what's up, Sinclair Show fam? Glad to see you, Jay Dizzle. Star said, no, she ain't having everybody. Come on. But think about this. People, I'm telling you, when you start looking at this DNA stuff, the first thing that you see is you will start seeing, like I was having a conversation with somebody and they was explaining to me about the different types of trees that you could go out there and you can fill in trees. Yeah. What the deal is. You can fill in the trees yourself. And they was like, oh man, I looked at the trees and the trees had a lot of names on it. And I said, look here, I ain't even gonna call no names because you know I protect the innocent. So I asked this individual who I value. I said, well, let me ask you a question. Did any of the people the hundreds of people that you saw on that tree, did any of them appear up on your DNA hits? They was like, no, only like one or two. I said, well, if only one or two did, then there's only one or two of them that's in your clan. See, people, I don't want y'all to get tricked by some old timers who sat around when they was rolling up their own tobacco, or when they was out there drinking a little moonshine. I don't want y'all to get fooled by them because they telling y'all about their memory. Okay. Detective Pamela Black, glad to see you done joined the show. Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell y'all something funny Xavier said to me. Y'all know Xavier be always pondering the intellectual perspective of things. Man, he be telling me, you know, I'll take what the ancestors say before I trust some paperwork. Yeah, you keep trusting these ancestors because the more I dig into this, the more I'm seeing there was some shady ancestors. And y'all got to realize, and matter of fact, tonight's show ain't even about that. But I tell you what it is about. as we talk about that, and we'll dig deeper into this, I promise, for those of you who are becoming interested, you have to understand that depending on the time frame, meaning your great grandparents, your grandparents, and beyond, depending on your age. I ain't talking about the young people that be listening, because y'all got some y'all mamas and them and some cougars. Rod said we know that there are a lot of aunts that are not your daddy's sister on your father's side. I ain't messing with you, Rod. Look, I'm not jumping into that pool. But I did want to say this before I move on. Consider, it doesn't mean that your family lied to you, but you got to think back in the day, there were some activities taking place whereby if the person who actually was your father happened to have been a Anglo-Saxon, a Caucasian, however you want to put them out there into the atmosphere, the one thing that wouldn't have been possible, depending on the time period, if your mama was black and your daddy was white, she might not have been able to put your name on down there at the hospital with no white man, because she might would have got that could have been cause for killing somebody back in the day. So all I'm saying is, for the O.A. Joneses of the world. Oh, did I say that? Anyway, all I'm saying is I want y'all to, if at all possible, get your paperwork. And I'm really considering this protesting. Don't come to the family reunion if you ain't got proof you in the family. And I don't want nobody's word that Cousin Joe, Aunt Jane to the fifth power was saying whatever. I don't want to take her advice, because she might have been out there on some fast tail things, if you will. All right. All right. So first of all, let's go and get out here and see what we're going to talk about. All right. Matter of fact, I'm going to go and jump in knee deep right now. Shahrazad Ali, and if I'm mispronouncing her name, charge it to the game. She's got this book, right? Well, she got a lot of books and videos and interviews. And somebody sent it to me the other day. I don't know if they sent it to me because they were trying to set me up. I don't know if they sent it to me because they just wanted my opinion about it or otherwise. But when they sent it to me, I began listening to her as she talked about a book that she had. And the book was called How Feminism Destroyed the U.S. Black Family. And I'm not going to go through the whole book. I will put the link in so that you can go out. But if you look her name up, the spelling is scrolling across the screen. But there's one part in the book where she says, my position is that the black woman's against the leadership and authority of the black man is the direct cause of the breakdown in the black family structure. That's not my words. That's her words. All right. There's another part in there that where she says that over 60% of our women, and again, I don't need y'all fighting me on this, because some of y'all is a little shady. There's another part in there where she talks about that over 60% of our women fall into some particular categories. And the categories that that she says over 60% of our women are single, separated, widowed, or divorced. 60%. She said they don't have a man. She also spoke of, in Florida, the Urban League, a black organization, built a housing complex that is for women and children only and do not allow men. She said them children need fathers, etc., etc. And if you look down at the bottom, like I said, it scrolls across the screen. We'll leave it up for a minute. That's where you can go click on it. But you can actually type in her name into Google or onto YouTube, and you'll find a lot of stuff about her. So the question is, ladies, for you all, for those of you who may know Miss Ali, do you agree or disagree with some of the things that she is saying? Do you believe that feminism is part of the cause of the destruction of the black family? Okay. And that black women against the leadership and authority of the black man is the direct cause of the breakdown in the black family structure. What say you all? Anybody? Don't get scared now. Rod said, in my family tree, there's a lot of family members that were labeled as mulatto. Hey man, Rod, you talking like Xavier. Xavier always walking around talking about some mulattoes. But again, what say you women? Don't, whoa. Star said no slavery is. Okay, so Star, we're not saying that it's the only thing, but are you saying that you disagree with Miss Ali when she implies or states directly that her position, not my position, is that black women's being against the leadership and authority of a black man is the direct causation or cause of the breakdown in the black family structure? Johnny said, post-slavery, what about modern day? Hey, that's a good question, Jay Dizzle. And also, listen, ladies, more than one thing can be true. If somebody says that 60% of black women are either single, separated, divorced, or widowed, that's a pretty high number. Is it true? Okay. Because I think that because someone has put this out here to the public and they wanted us to talk about it, we've got to be fair and look at something objectively. And you cannot say that, while we can't say it's a primary cause, would you at least agree that it is a cause? Okay. And like I said, I'm not really doing it the level of justice because there's a lot of stuff on her videos, but she talks about the concepts that black women were driven to in terms of, matter of fact, there's a part in there where she says black women were so thrilled about the concept of being able to say, I got my own and I don't need a man. And they never anticipated what the outcome from that would be, that if you walk around talking about you don't need a man, eventually you won't have one, but you will substitute it with something else that is worse. Okay, let me put Star up here. Star says, yes, I disagree with her. You can't be against the leadership of a man if he's not a leader. So many broken homes and single mothers, men don't know how to be men. Okay, you know what? Let me leave that up there for a second. Now, Star, I'm gonna rock with you on that for a second because there is significant accuracy in your statement. The part that says that you can't be against the leadership of a man if he's not a leader. All right. My boy Rod said, I think she may be right, but a lot of women will reject what she's saying because they don't want to address the truth. Speak on it, my brother. Let's go back to Star. Star, I'm going to ask you a serious question. And I just want you to ponder this before you answer it. If women are raising young men in single parent homes where there is no male father figure, and if she is the sole nurturer and grower of the young man's thought process, and if she is bitter because she's been with a man who wasn't what he said he was going to be or whatever, isn't it likely that she has pushed or promoted that energy? And how can a young man become a leader if he grows up in a home where the thought process about the very thing he is, meaning a man, is that men ain't about nothing and they the worst things on the planet and they lazy and they sorry and all of the things that get indoctrinated up by women? Let's see what Jay Dizzle said. He said, being and always stating I'm independent. What about those who consistently challenge a man no matter what is being addressed? Okay, Jay Dizzle got an excellent point. Okay. if you're not willing to answer these questions head on, and we're not putting one person against another because everybody's opinion is valuable. But I do need somebody before we answer Rod and before we answer Jay Dizzle, I need somebody to explain to me, how can a young man grow up feeling positive about being a young man? How can a young man grow up and understand what is meant to be a male black leader if he exists in a home where all he hears is how bad black men are? Somebody got to be able to explain that. Because let's go back to Stars. Oh, here she goes. Star says, I have 4 boys and my boys are doing wonderful. Yes, if the mother has that type of attitude, yes, the boys will wind up sorry, not unless they are strong enough to make a difference. All right, cool. Now we have to adopt at least what Star is saying, because she's saying that it is possible, if the young men are being groomed by a mother who is not walking around speaking negatively about men in general. Now, I know that to be true because I grew up in a home where my father was not in the home. And I did not hear my mom walking around talking about men ain't this and men ain't that. So now, do I think that my mom was very, very tough as a woman? Yes. Do I believe she was no nonsense? Yes. Even to some degree, I've said that I believe that my mom may have been somewhat relationship deficient because she had to be in a role that not even she may not have wanted to be in it, in terms of, I don't fundamentally believe that women want to be in these dual optical roles, meaning they got to do everything. Rod says, without a man or father figure, a boy will have a hard time being a man when he grows up. Just like iron sharpens iron, on the biblical side, you need a man to develop a man. I agree with that. Star says, my children went to church. I kept it real with them. See, and I think, Star, in this particular case, we're talking about somewhat of an anomaly, meaning this. The question came out about if there was a young man who grew up in a situation where, if we're being honest, it is far more likely that you're not going to find a woman who is caring for her children and she hasn't had a negative experience. Meaning, we're not talking about a woman who is a widow, meaning her husband died. We're not talking about a woman who's not relationship challenged, meaning her and the biological father of the child may not be together, but they don't have all that negativity. They're not running around there spewing hatred and negativity to the child. And so those are different circumstances. But far more often than not, when you go, whether it's social media, whether it's the news, whether it's the police department, wherever you go, you've seen these domestic situations that tend to trickle over to where somebody is downgrading the black male figure in the home, which ultimately, again, if you are a young black man growing up in America today and you are in the home of a mother who is anti-male leadership, then how can you ever grow up with a sense of pride about being a black man if all you hear is something negative about one? And on the other side, if you are a mother, well, let's stop just talking about the young man. What is a young woman to think if she grows up in a household where there is no respect for a man? Okay, there's nothing wrong with being a strong woman. I salute you. I know what they look like. I can show y'all the picture of one. Let me scroll up here and find my mama. Sit around here and play around with y'all, because I know some of y'all, that's my mama. Now, my mama raised 3 kids in the house by herself. Okay. And it wasn't easy. Okay. My mama is definitely what you would consider to be old school. And I say this to you because we cannot continue to act. Hold on. What Ty you talking about? Men talk negatively about women too. Ain't this a trip? That ain't even the topic. Hey, mama, that's what Nikki Carter said. Ty, what is it about you that you always got to go down to the left or to the right? Nobody said any. We're not even talking about that. We're talking about the circumstance that Ali is talking about. Okay. Rod said, I've had a meaningful conversation with single women, and a lot do say that they wish that the father of the boys were more involved with them. I see where Star is coming from, but a man is needed somewhere down the line. I agree with you. And I think, Rod, I think that Star would agree. Look here, James said, don't get off point. Absolutely. James, you said a mouthful right then. Nigga Carter talking about James Key. Nah. Star said, that's true, but majority of our children live with a woman. And there lies the condition that we're speaking about, Star. We're talking about the real life condition that it would be wonderful if kids were being raised in homes where there was where the egos and animosity weren't the driving forces. But you have to be Yvonne Rouse, glad to see you. Pamela German, always glad to see you. I ain't messing with some of y'all. Now, and I want y'all to understand what I'm saying. The driving force in many homes, especially in an age bracket where maybe we're talking about from 21 to 35, right? We're talking about a group of people, Annie Moore, glad to see you. We're talking about a group of people, a group of women in an age bracket where maybe they've not matured to a point where they can separate their emotions. So if, excuse me, if you're a young woman, a woman of the age of 21 to 35, let's say, and if you are operating in a space by which you have negativity and animosity for the father of the child, or maybe you done been played by so many men that now you sit on the phone. And ladies, I want to be fair with y'all. Okay. Jay Dizzle said it takes a village. That's where the uncle, barbers, big brothers program come in. Johnny, you have a point, but let me say this. The thing that I'm trying to convey, and I hope that you all can grasp, is this. I'm not accusing women of doing it intentionally, but intent doesn't matter if you're sitting in your bedroom on the phone talking loud to your girlfriend about how the father of your kids ain't about nothing, or how the last dude that you messed with wasn't about nothing, and you calling them sorry, and you saying stuff like, look here, I don't need a Negro in my life. You're not saying it to your child, but it's an earshot of your child. And if you are raising a young man and all he hears is the person that he values the most, which is mama, sitting on the telephone talking about men ain't nothing, is that likely to be a condition that could lead to him not even wanting to be a man, or having confidence issues about being a man, and certainly being a black man, if all they hear are negative things from mama, and mama might not even be spewing it to them. She might be in her emotions and they ear hustling because mama talk loud. Okay. Rod said, why are the children living with their moms when some men want to raise their kids? Wow. Big Rod ain't playing with y'all tonight. Ty said, if they're willing, I definitely agree. Look at Essie Shepherd. Hey, Essie, look at my armor bearer out there doing the big. Again, people, tonight is not about answering, are all women any one thing? Because we know they're not. You can't put everybody into a box. Okay. Ty said, but how many want to make that sacrifice? Not to mention the mothers in that situation get dogged. Get dogged how, Ty? Tell me how they getting dogged. Girl, you are part of the Me Too movement. Tell me what you're talking about. I don't want broad statements anymore. I don't want you to say, but how many want to make that sacrifice, not to mention mothers in the situation get dogged. How are you getting dogged? Okay. You want me to tell you what getting dogged ain't? Getting dogged is not you choosing to be with somebody who didn't love you in the first place. It's not when you didn't do your due diligence. It's not when you sat around. Listen, I'm not talking about the women who thought that they were with the man that they were going to be with, and they were so in love and they got married and they had kids and he turned out to be trifling or whatever. I'm not talking about them. All right. I'm talking about the ones that we see most often. Nikki said, do you really think that's all they hear is negativity? Nikki, I'm not saying that that's all they hear, but again, kids don't process stuff that don't interest them. Mama might be talking about how to build Lego blocks or watching something on TV. That doesn't matter. What do young people hear? Something that interests them. Let me go back to my girl Star. Star says, that's something I didn't do. I didn't badmouth my children's father. I didn't have conversation with my friends about the father. And when they were home or around, even now, my children are 24, 23, 22, 18, and 14, and still careful about the conversations that she has around them. That's a different story. But ladies, even if y'all out here like Taya rocking with the Me Too movement, let's not lie to each other and play senseless while we in front of each other tonight and trying to act like what I'm talking about don't exist. That's the problem. We're asking about real situations and real questions, and because you guys don't feel comfortable with saying something that is truthful, not about all women, but it's certainly truthful about some. Rod said, just like the lady wrote the article, we see programs that keep men out of the daily lives of their kids. Section 8, project housing developed, the court system. If a man doesn't have money to fight for his kids, then they butt naked out of the picture. I agree with Rob. Ty said, mothers that agree to the fact that the father is in the better position to raise the children get dogged by their families and society. You know what, Ty, while that may be true, let me explain to you what that is. And let me clear this off so y'all can see my face when I say this. When you say that mothers that agree to the fact that the father's in a better position to raise the children get dogged, you know why they get dogged? Because if you are a person, be a woman or a man, and you believe something and know it to be factual, but you're not confident enough to stand on your feet and say, look, I don't care what you think. I'm making a decision that is in the best interest of my child. Because what we know is that when women want to talk about something, y'all will talk about it. When y'all want to take that powerful step forward, y'all will talk about it. Unfortunately, in many cases, and let's be fair, the reason why many women won't send their kids to live with the father, let me put my disclaimer out there. First of all, there's a lot of men that ain't gonna take them no way, because there's a lot of men that say, oh, I want to do this and I want to do that, but they really don't want that responsibility. It's a lot of Negroes out here that complain about the next Negro raising a child, but he don't want to raise them themselves. You think I'm playing? Pick up the phone and call him and tell him come get him. Promise you he ain't gonna do it. Because it's easier to say I love you from across the phone than it is for you to get up and come bring that car down there and pick up their stuff. And then women, if they would, some of y'all ain't gonna let them go because you ain't trying to let that child support go. Keep it a stack. Some of y'all be holding on to it even when you ain't getting it. Nikki said that exactly. Oh boy, there go. Congratulations, Cassandra Creed. I saw she done graduated. Yeah, the legal beagle is full in effect now. But yeah, but I'm saying this to y'all people. And look, we ain't gonna spend all night on this because I know I'm gonna get the hate mail. And men, I'm not defending you out there. Let's be clear. Because there are entirely too many of you all out there that get the luxury of saying, oh, I love my kids. Oh, I'd do anything in the world for them. But the moment that the mother picks up the phone and says, look, your son is acting crazy, I can't do nothing with him, you talking about, well, I can't bring him here neither. The moment somebody call you and say, hey, look, your daughter's out here acting crazy in these streets, and maybe she needs to spend some time with you. Oh, you too busy. And I don't give a jack darn about no short-term prognosis. I don't care nothing about you taking them for a ride. I don't care nothing about you getting them for the week or the weekend. You got mothers out here that's in the trenches with these kids 365. So men, don't think because I am on the women about what Miss Ali said that I'm defending the ignorance, because truthfully, there are some men that want them, but there's the majority of them don't want it because two reasons. And I'm going to say this and then we're going to move on and y'all can write me and we'll talk about it next week. Reason number one, many men ain't going to do it because they don't want to have to switch up their lifestyle. They don't want to be inconvenienced. How do I know? Because if you listen to men talk, if some woman calls you and tells you that your kids is out here acting crazy, but now you got to measure. Do I want my house to be messed up like her house is? That's what Shabazz talking about. All right. And here's the other thing. You think about it now, and I got to keep it a stack, people. If you knew you could stop paying child support and all you had to do was become the custodial parent, it's telling you something about whether or not you really want to be with that child, when the fact you ain't gonna do it because you too busy worried about messing up your current relationship than raising your child. That's just keeping it 100. We're gonna get off that topic because we got some other stuff to talk about. Let me see. Nikki Carter said exactly. All right. Ty said, I agree, children need their dads. Rod said a man has to be there, period, for his kids. I agree. And listen, you don't have to be the custodial parent to be a dad. All you got to do is want to be active and to let her know. Let me tell you something. Women are ashamed of dude all outdoors on social media if he ain't no good dad. All right. Ty said facts. They're not trying to mess up a social life when the responsibility of being a full-time parent. Absolutely. Women are screaming to the top of their lungs on social media about a trifling dude. And dudes, if you're in a situation where you're trying to get access to your child, if you can come up with money for everything else, you can find a lawyer that will help you. But you got to want that help. Some men want the excuse of the reason why I ain't with my kid is because me and the child's mama ain't on good terms. Who cares? You got to understand something. If you really care about your child, I don't give a Jack Daniels what she says. There should be no reason that you are willing to allow anybody to come between you and your relationship with your child. You don't have to be friends with them. You got to be respectful to them. But if you do allow that, you're doing it because you want to, and you don't get to stand behind the cloak of saying, well, man, she just trying to ruin my life. Lady Elegance said, that's why I love Russell Wilson. He's a great father to Sierra's future. He loves him as his own flesh and blood. All right, I'm getting ready to move off that subject. And here's the reason why I'm going to move off it. Because that's a whole different story. Okay? Because we already know stepdads ain't getting no respect. They don't get it in their own house. They ain't getting it from the dude that they feel stepping in the gap for, none of that. You know, anyway, we'll wash that up and talk about it another day. But I'm saying to you all, while we may not agree with everything Miss Ali said, hold on, here we go right here. Jay Dizzle said, I'm a living case study. I took care of mine. My son lived with me until he went to the military. I cherished every moment of it. Okay, Jay Dizzle said he living proof. Okay. Rod said, I told my daughters, I'm your father first, not your friend. And you know what, Rod, let me ask you a question. Do you all believe that that's part of the reason why it is so easy for some women, not all, to tear down the the fabric of not only just the authority, but the positive male figure is because when a man is saying something in the home and the child disagrees and the mother is in some cases, certainly not all, but she is in a direct link with the child and saying, well, maybe we're being this and that. If a man tells you something, unless you are dealing with a man that you can't trust his judgment with your child, saying that he's too tough doesn't make any sense. Because the moment that something goes wrong, you're going to expect him to step up and do what he was trying to warn you about in the first place. When you got young girls that turn up pregnant, young girls that turn up missing, in this day and time, where they snatching them up from everywhere. And when you're trying to tell them don't be out here on social media is the killer of careers. It's the killer of a positive relationship that you could possibly have with somebody. Why? Because you can't erase it. Black folks ain't got enough money to get themselves off social media when they put themselves up there. Trust me when I tell you that. And so when you got a man who is standing up and saying, hey, look, you don't need to do this. You need to think about that. Look at the decisions you're making. And all he gets is, oh, you the bad person. Okay. Rod said, yes, we were raised because we raised the kids different from their mother. Our job is to guide and set the standards for our sons and daughters. Absolutely, Rod. And the problem is, it is easier to be a friend to them than a parent. Because it's not that we don't have emotion, we're just less emotional. Because we got to think about what happens when something goes wrong. A real man is not concerning himself with what happens when everything is good. We are in the prevent defense, all right? Anyway, let me find something else to talk about. We're killing all my time. Let's make it a little lighter, all right? Here you go, people. Check this out. A South Carolina man dropped dead of a heart attack as he tried to bury his girlfriend's body in the backyard, according to the Edgefield County Sheriff's Office. On Saturday, deputies responded to a report of an unresponsive man lying in a yard outside a home in the Trenton area, which is about 20 miles from the South Carolina and Georgia border. All right. Think about this now. Joseph Anthony McKinnon, 60, was pronounced dead at the scene now. And deputies know what the deputies found. They found the body of Patricia Ruth Dent, who was 65, wrapped in a trash bag in a freshly dug grave. Autopsies on the couple found that McKinnon died of a heart attack, and Dent was found to have died by strangulation. Think about it, people. That's crazy. We sitting around here talking about this dude done messed around and he done killed a lady. Okay. Done killed a lady, done strangled her. And then in the process of trying to dig a grave and put a body in it and cover up to get away with it, this fool has a heart attack. Nigga said, oh, wow. James said, now that's karma. Jay Dizzle said, karma came quick. Yeah. Rod said he wasn't built for that type of job. Starcoma said, good for him. Karma. Oh. Everybody talk about bad luck and karma. What's going on, Barry Horton? Glad to see you. That's an idea Chanel plot. Everybody saying it's instant karma. Probably is, people. But think about this. God be moving quick, don't he? Now, you done went out here and done strangled this lady. And then you turn around and the stress of digging that. First of all, if you was thinking about doing somebody, you probably should have dug the grave like 2-3 weeks in advance, because it's a lot to probably strangle somebody, tote them around back. It's too much work. And if you think about killing somebody, you probably ain't that good of a worker, no way. I'm just saying. All right, let's go on to something else so we can let me see what I want to talk about. All right, let's go here. It says a teacher in Rochester, New York, was placed on leave and is being investigated after parents said he told students to pick cotton during a lesson on slavery. Wow. So the school district official says that parents of the 7th grade students at the Rochester School of Art said last week that Patrick Rausch, Rausch, a social studies teacher who happens to be one of my Anglo-Saxon brothers and sisters, gave balls of cotton to his students on Tuesday and instructed them to pick the seeds out. The parents also said that Mr. Rausch referred to himself as massa and allowed white students to stop cleaning the cotton when they asked, but not the black students. Some say that this has been going on all year long. Valima Ramos O'Neill, the mother of a student in Mr. Rouse's class, said in the Facebook post, describing, now listen, first of all, she was describing other racist treatment she said her son had experienced in Mr. Rouse's class. Talking about, I'm so angry and hurt for these kids. All right, so first let's do this. Let's hit the pause button. How in the Sam Blazing Hills did you allow this type of thing to go on and you didn't do nothing about it? That's first thing. James talking about Candyland in my Django voice. All right. They talking about Jesus, fix it. Wait, what? That's what Taya said. Star said, oh no, he crazy and should have known and should known better. To be honest with you, he did know better. Because think about this now. The mother of one of the kids say he been doing stuff like this all year long, and she feels a certain kind of way. So the first time, okay, Rod said, man, I'd be down at that school. Absolutely you would. But I want to address the mother who was on social media talking about this wasn't the first time and talking about, Jane said, that's the problem. Absolutely. Talking about the person been doing it all year long. You never got up from any place other than social media and went down there and caused the ruckus. I don't understand it. You never went to your local news media and talked about it. See, that's the problem. We'll go down to the school for some ignorance. Your child out there acting crazy with the teacher, you'll go down there to defend your child. But a teacher who been doing foolish stuff, racist stuff all year long, you didn't think that it was necessary to make a loud enough voicing about it to cause somebody to look at them and put that on pause? Now let's get back to the teacher. And let me say this. And I got to say this to me and my mama's Caucasian comrades. Okay. Mama, I got to say that now. James said, same as these mass shooters. They knew something was wrong. Absolutely. Gwendolyn said, Anglo-Saxons are really emboldened. Now, Lady Elegance, I can't let you talk about all my people. And Mama, look, Mama, you got to rock with me on this because, you know, you almost 50% Anglo-Saxon yourself. So I'm just saying, I understand on both sides of the fence, if you will. But let me say this to my white comrades, my Caucasian brothers and sisters, my Anglo-Saxon less than angels. Y'all done got to the point where y'all really just believe that we won't do anything. And when I say do something, I ain't talking about going out there snapping on nobody. Listen, people. When somebody acts ignorant, you got permission to check them and do it in a way that's effective. Rod said, when you are at the school on a regular basis, the teacher and administration will act differently. Absolutely. And here's the thing about it. And I'm saying this to all parents, not just my brothers and sisters of Negro and minority descent. When you go to that school and you got your cell phone sitting out and you sit down in that conference room and you say to them, I am recording this, so I want to be very clear with you all. When I leave here today, if I am unsatisfied with the actions, my next stop will be XYZ. And you act as professional as you got to. And you call names and dates and times. And you let them know what you know. And you tell them, I don't care what, I'm going to give you time to investigate. And then my time is probably going to be 48 hours. And you let them know that you're serious. They not going to let them teachers stay in the class. You going to hear about something. You going to get a response. But when they think you more concerned about buying a prom dress to make your daughter look naked, when they can pull up the social media and see you and your daughter out there twerking on the same video, when they know that you don't care about the support of your students enough to get out here and put yourself on the front line for the right thing, they're going to keep letting it go. That's what they're going to do. When they know you are professional, but you're not to be played with, when they ain't worried about you running down to the school, threatening to do bodily harm, they don't want to make the news media. Okay? Cassandra said maybe the parents didn't find out until she complained about her child. You'd be surprised what the school doesn't share unless you speak out. Cassandra, here's the thing. I would agree with you except for the lady said they've been doing, this individual teacher been doing stuff like this all year long, meaning she's known about incidents. That's what I'm trying to say. For those who just found out about this cotton picking incident, that's one thing. But this particular parent at least acknowledges she's been aware of, and probably others, stuff with this specific instructor all year long. All right? I'm just saying. All right? So listen, people, my advice to you all is this. Stop sitting around with the foolishness and start handling your business like you some professionals. You start, when you get ready to go out there to the school, and let me say this, me being in education for all these years at the collegiate level, stop going out to the school looking like you either could be walking on the corner or you going to get on a stripper pole somewhere. If you want somebody to take you seriously, don't go out there with the leopard print with all your body hanging out of it. You go down there like you mean business. You go down like a professional woman or man or both of y'all together. You go down there understanding what you're going to say before you get there so you don't get emotional, so you ain't cussing them out. They're going to take you serious when they don't know what you're capable of. When you down there ranting and raving, as soon as you make an old idle threat, all they're going to do is call the police and tell them come get you. But when you go down there and you act like a professional and they got to second guess whether or not only are you a leader in your home, but whether or not you are a leader in the community, they're not playing with you. I'm just saying, people. All right, let me get to this last thing right here. It says, Sinclair, is a promise really a promise? Uh-oh. Says I've been engaged for 6 years. When we got engaged, my fiance promised as soon as we were financially stable enough, we would get married. In the past 6 years, we have both purchased new cars. He's bought a house. We have gone on cruises both before and after COVID-19. Everyone in my family thinks that we are secretly married anyway, because it's been so long. When I brought it up, now this is about to get deep. So when I brought it up last night, he says, we are getting close, but we're not there yet. Uh-oh. So I asked him, what is the amount we need to have? And he looked at her and said, ladies, check this out. when the only bills we have are our house and one car payment. Okay. And she said, and I laughed because I got 11 months left on mine. And she's asking me, why should I wait on him? I think this is the runaround. And she says, Sinclair, what do you think? Well, oh my goodness, y'all be trying to put me on the spot. Let me see what other people think. Star said, girl gone. That man isn't going to marry you. Nikki Carter said, I already know it's a wrap. Rod said, when a man wants to marry you, he will marry you. All right. Now, I may have a slightly different theory, but let me say this. Here's what my concern is about answering this question. And as Cassandra would probably say, there's still some information that is missing. But from what you have shared, you said, hold on, Ty said he running game. All right. That might be the case. And James said, maybe he's goal oriented. Okay, James. Cassandra said, you teach people how to treat you, and she accepted this for this amount of time. All right, so let's man, I couldn't get y'all to talk about that other issue. Gwendolyn said, tell that joker to kick bricks. Wow. All right, so let me say this, people. Maybe I can change your perspective or offer you an alternate theory. All right. Now, she said they initially agreed that when they was in a financially stable position. All right. Does she bear some, not all, but does she bear some responsibility? Because it appears that both of them put certain things in front of the financial stability. She said both of them went out and bought new cars. One of them went out and bought a house. So if the attachment to getting married was about financial stability, Ty said, because he painted it as an end game. Okay, but ladies, all of y'all are saying it, and I'm not saying that you're not right, because I don't know. But I wonder, what if you say we must be financially stable before we get married, and everybody's buying new cars and houses, maybe there's some parts about this that have not been added in, but we do have indicators that maybe neither one of them were the best financial managers, because if the wedding was the most important thing, there's no way that both of them at the same time going to buy new cars and a new house. I can't see that happening. Cassandra said, if those things they brought is hold on, let me post that up. Cassandra said, those things they brought is the reason they aren't married now, then yes, there is more to the story. I agree, Cassandra. Ty said, it sounds like the perception of financial stability was never clearly stated. Ty, you are absolutely right. All I'm trying to say to you all is, as our legal beagle always says, sometimes there's not enough information to provide an accurate and fair view or opinion. In this case, amongst few, I just don't find that I've got enough information, because I could equally have said to this in this case, well, I should have known Cassandra, you was doing so well that she came back with the women's right movement. She said, oh, he might be a good manipulator. Rod said, let me put it this way. When a man is truly in love with you, he will marry you. She made other things a priority before marriage. Financial stability is a term they put on their relationship. Rod said a mouthful. He said they put that on there. Remember, Nikki Carter said, what was being financially stable? We don't know, and that's the problem. Star said their priorities aren't together. A conversation should have taken place and a plan set forth. That way she wouldn't be questioning his attention. Well, the problem with that, Star, is this. Nikki, he ain't got to be no liar. The problem is this. She said there was a conversation initially by which they agreed that once they were financially stable, and again, we don't know if they ever put a dollar figure on it, But in the end, what he said was, before we get married, we need to have one car payment. And some of y'all that's talking about kicking rocks, let me say this. If she ain't got but 11 months to go and she done invested 6, she could have said, well, look, let's double up on the payment on my car and cut that 11 months into 6 months and go and make this happen. There are some other options other than let me get up out of here, right? Nigga, don't turn your head on me. Ty said, sounds like they both did. He bought a house. Okay, but the house isn't the problem. Cassandra said, I bet his perspective is not the same as hers. Probably so. Nigga said he'll come up with another reason. Could be. All these things are mights, could be whatever. I'm just saying that the pieces that we don't know, which makes it impossible to pass judgment at this particular point, is we don't know if it was established early on what the financial stability meant to both of them. And we cannot remove the fact that she willfully bought a new car just like he did. So they, at a certain point early on, they wasn't concerned about what the optics of it looked like. Maybe because they believed at that time that, you know what, we got time. Now she is more in a different space of time. And if he's saying the only goal that is preventing it now is he wants them to only have one car payment and one house payment. We don't even know if she's working. We don't know how much she earns. We don't know if he's assuming if something goes wrong, I want to make sure that I am able to provide 100%, even if she doesn't work. We don't know a lot of things. Nikki Carter says 6 years is a long time. Maybe it is. And how long is your car payment? 4 years, 5 years? I don't know. But if she only has 11 months left, before y'all say kick him to the curb, before y'all assume that he gonna come up with something else, isn't it possible that he might know about the financial habits and maybe he is actually trying to get her to see that if something goes wrong, I need to be able to take care of everything? Cassandra's saying we don't know their ages either. Exactly. There's a lot of things that are unknown. So before we jump down and say this dude is a dog running game and all that, because truthfully, I don't think that it is problematic for somebody to say financial stability is a minimum requirement for getting married. It should be. I don't think when both of you decide that you're going to go out and buy a car, brand new cars, I don't know what your financial position is, but if he's saying to her, I want to make sure we only got one house payment and we only got a house payment and one car payment, I don't think that's outside of the realm. And fellas, y'all can say I'm wrong, but I think if you down 11 months, he knows you only got 11 months to pay on your car. I believe that you ought to go and stick it out or try to work to pay that off early and then see. Now, I agree with you ladies. If for some reason you pay that car off and he ain't talking no different, go on about your business. Ty said, what's going to change financially after they get married? Life is too unpredictable. Girl, you crazy as all outdoors. If you got problems financially before you get married ain't solving them. But if you create a standard that says, hey, look here, we must be fiscally responsible and you stick to it, then she can expect or he can expect you to stick to it once you get married. If you keep moving the goalposts and say, look, we can keep buying stuff, keep doing stuff, like Cassandra said, you just don't know what was agreed to. Okay? You've got to make sure that before you say that somebody is wrong, that there's a lot of stuff we don't know and that we stop factoring it in from an emotional standpoint. Anyway, people, look, I got to get up off this show. I can't hang out with y'all all night.
Baby. Oh, yeah.
See y'all next week.
Here we go. The Sinclair Show is on. It is on. Running to your